All right, welcome to a really special episode of Inappropriate, Earl. We've had a bit of a hiatus while we shuffle the organizational chart here. That and I can't get anyone to come to my house. So actually this week's guest I had to pick up. So it reminds me back to my early days when I was picking up the podcast guests. So, if you guys want more celebrity guests, well, you drive them to my house and I'll get them. So now that we got the business talk out of the way, a good friend of mine on the show today. He's, one of the most beloved members in the LA comedy community, which is like saying you're the skinniest fat chick on The Biggest Loser. It doesn't take a lot to be loved in this business, and especially in the sludge of LA comedy, or everyone will stab you in the back and then tell you what a great set you had after you fucking ate it for 10 minutes on stage. This guy is loved everywhere. You might know him as the Autistic Thunder. You might know him as Josh Meyrowitz. And if you're a fan of Roast Battle, you know him as the audience hype man, Autistic hype man. And if you listen to Kill Tony, he was the... really, probably the best Patriot after the original guy went nuts, and then Autistic Patriot, and I was lucky enough to fill in for him for a few episodes until he was back from his sabbatical. So put your grubby, sweaty, smelly, stinky, unwashed hands together for the one, the only Mr. Joshua Meyrowitz.
Thank you, Earl. I appreciate it. A very loving intro. I hope people don't think this is like some gimmick with the autism thing. I'm autistic, but like I'm not an autistic comic. I just gotta talk about it because I'm a human being and I'm a comedian. Gotta bring it up for comedy's sake.
Well, I mean, you're definitely autistic. That's for sure. I don't think this is a fucking...
I can't run away from that. I really can't run away from that. But at the same time, like I don't want people to think like that's all I got. Like, I don't want to be pigeonholed, you know?
I got something you can pigeonhole.
Duh. Fucking blowing load on some tits, dude.
Keep talking while I turn the lights on.
It's
so
okay.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because a lot, you've been on a lot of podcasts,
yeah.
but, these podcasts don't really get in depth as to, who you are, your start in comedy. They just do shtick and make fun of you,
More or less.
And... don't take you seriously. I mean, you're a funny dude.
Thank you, as are you.
Well, I know that, but, I paid my dues, brother.
I got a long way to go myself. I just hit my 6th year.
Well, what got you into comedy?
It's always sort of been a long time coming, and I didn't even know it. When I was a little kid in, like, elementary school, yeah. I was asked, hey, what do you want to do who do you want to be when you grow up? And I didn't actually mean it back then because I had no idea. It was just like a job saying, I'm a policeman, I want to be a fireman. I said, I want to be a comedian. I had no friggin' clue what that actually entailed. I was mostly used to like sketch comedy and whatnot, but Anyways, flash forward about 27 years, more or less. I started getting more and more into listening to stand-up, in particular guys like Jon Stewart and especially in particular Patton Oswalt. And it sort of just finally, after listening to like a Patton Oswalt, I'm like, okay, I really need to force myself to do this. A friend of a friend took me to an open mic at Haha Cafe.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, it got me hooked up with one Marty Foster, which was... for better, for worse.
Who's Marty Foster?
Exactly.
That
Anyways.
fucking hustler.
Dude.
Who charges comics $5 to bomb in front of other comics.
Can I tell you, I'm the co-founder of that place, and I still tell people not to go.
I mean, I couldn't. My comedy career was going so bad, I wanted my picture on the wall at that shit box.
Yeah, I got it. I got my 2 pictures on that wall because me and Marty are friends, and I helped him little things, but I wasn't like a big help. He let me be a co-founder. The co-founder, excuse me.
What do you mean he let you be a co-founder?
Like after he got banned from the Haha Cafe.
Why did he get banned from the Haha?
Because he was making jokes on stage about the owner and his wife, but like he was just joking. But you know how these comedy club owners can be. It's a comedy club and they don't have a sense of humor.
Right. I certainly know that.
Oh yeah, 16 years, dude. I'm sorry to hear it, but at least it worked out.
Well, I'm not sure if it's worked out, but it's getting better.
Yeah, exactly. I love you. It's all good.
Yeah, much love, man.
Indeed. So I went to Marty. I met at the Haha Cafe. First of all, I have Asperger's, and part of it is anxiety. I have constant, like 24/7 for real anxiety, bad stuff. And when I got on stage for that very first time at the Haha Cafe, I don't know. I probably was doing bad, but I don't know if I was doing good or bad. It was the best I ever felt. I wasn't. To this day, it's extremely surreal for me to not feel anxiety on stage, and that's the only place. And that has its flaws too. Once I get off stage, all the anxiety I didn't have on stage and all the anxiety I would normally have on off stage fucking flood me like a goddamn anxiety tsunami. So.
Like, what do you get the most anxiety about?
I'm scared if I did someone wrong or they're mad in my head. I perceive them being mad at me, or I think people are belittling me or looking down on me as anything, or I just generally think I did something wrong. It's usually I'm blaming myself. I'm a Jew. I self-loathe.
Like, I was listening to some podcast you were on, and I really do forget which one.
Don't worry about it.
And no, I listen to so many just to see what the competition's up to.
Gotcha.
And the guy was like, "Well, are you retarded or artistic?" Like, when someone says that to you, that must, it depends. Does that bother you?
It depends on who it's coming from. Like, if it's come from a Don Barris, I would be angry. But if it was coming from
me,
yeah, I know you're
just
perfectly.
Doing shtick.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I even do your voice back at it. I get it. It's one of the few things actually that don't go over my head that much. I mean, it used to, but like you and a bunch of other people in the community at the comedy, let alone the Comedy Store, have sort of helped me evolve as a human being, not just a comedian.
Yeah, but you're a great guy. We're always just kidding.
I love you guys.
When you asked me for a ride home that one night, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, man, no problem." And 45 minutes later, I'm in Calabasas.
Yeah. Well, I didn't make you ever do it again, so.
But I would give you a ride again. I just, sometimes.
Dude, you were awesome. You didn't let me put gas in your tank, and you bought me a bottle of water, even though I was going to give you money for that as well. You're one of my best friends in the world, let alone stand up. And I thought there was going to be other guests. The fact you're having me on alone, that means a lot to me, actually.
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone else dropped out. So, no, I'm just kidding. Much love. Much love.
Well, indeed, much love. Anyways, Marty Foster, this guy that ran the open mic there, and that's how he came to insult. I don't think he meant to insult them, but he insulted the owners, and they booted him out. And the next week he calls me. He's like, "Hey, I think I'm going to start my own open mic." I'm like, "Okay." So he let me come in, helped him look at like paints for the place and stuff like that. And he's just generally my friend. And I asked him, "Hey, can I be the co-founder of this place?" Just sort of to feel like I'm part of something. And he's like, "Absolutely." And I did little odd jobs, but ultimately, the thing with me is I can't do normal jobs. Even if I'm good at them, I ultimately get so anxious that I could become a liability. So I don't want to be ever a liability for anyone. So like I take myself out of the situation. I know where I gotta stop after I've had enough experiences in the past to know when like the anxiety is getting to a point where it's going to explode in an inappropriate fashion, and I don't want that because I love everyone.
Like, what's the worst thing that's happened after? Would you say these are panic attacks or anxiety?
I thought panic attacks and anxiety attacks were one and the same. Someone told me they're different. I can't even begin to fathom how. In middle school, they put me in this middle school before we moved to California. I'm originally from New Jersey. Moved there to here 16 years ago. Southern
For
California.
what? Why did you guys move out here?
We just always wanted to. My dad had always said, "Hey, let's move to California," and we were like, "Yeah, sure." And he got a job transfer with his job. He's been selling thread for since he was 17, and he's 72 years old right now.
And looks good, by the way.
Yeah, we got good Jew genes.
Well,
Like,
you know.
yeah.
You're a good-looking guy, though. You got
Yeah.
good Jew genes.
Good Jew genes. Yeah. I listen. I'm not one to call myself handsome. Honestly, I think, including myself, all autistic people tend to be very ugly people.
Why do you say that?
Because most of the autistic people I've met, including myself, are fucking ugly.
I mean, you're not ugly, dude. I mean, you might be, you might want to do a push-up or something. But
Yeah, that I'm working on that. But yeah, this is either self-loathing or, I mean, this is how I honestly feel as well. I'm willing to be wrong. I don't mean to insult a whole, generalize a whole species of people.
Well, I think you just did, though.
I know. I said I
Oh, you
don't
don't
mean
mean
to.
it.
Yeah, I'm just saying this is my own insecurity about it.
Oh.
I honestly, I don't hate other autistic people, but I tend to not like them because of my own feelings of inferiority, and that's not their fault. Obviously, that's me.
Yeah, but they're also stealing your gimmick, man. I mean, it's a hell of a gimmick you have. I mean, that'd be great, though.
Not a gimmick, anyways.
But it could be, though, dude. You could be like,
I don't want to be like Josh Blue. Someone was making a good point about like Josh Blue is not a not Down syndrome.
he has Down syndrome?
No, she's no.
That makes it even
cerebral
crazier.
palsy. There we go. Good lord, there's a world of a difference between cerebral palsy and Down syndrome. Please excuse me. He has cerebral palsy, but people don't call him a cerebral palsy comic. They call him a comic, or a comic who just so happens to have cerebral palsy. That's my goal. Like, I have to start out by talking about autism, but ultimately I want it just to be part of the act, but I'm not. It's always going to be me. I can't not be me. But I'm not an autistic comedian. I'm a comedian.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be. It's sort of like the same sort of generalizing and belittling that even I was sort of doing, even if I'm just being joking or not, Like, granted, I love people and I try my best to be good to them no matter what.
You get past that.
You know what? I was talking to Jesus Trejo. And
Very funny comic.
Very funny. He helps me out a lot with shit, comedy-wise as well. And what we were just. Oh, what
You're
was
not
the
an
reason?
autistic comic. You're
Yes,
just a
yes.
comic.
Oh fuck! I lost my place.
That's all right,
That's
dude.
an autism thing, by the way. That I have so much going on in my head that like that it just.
It's all good, dude.
I'll find my way back. Anyways, the point is I don't want to be an autistic comedian. I want to be taken seriously and become a good comic.
Well,
Like-
you already are a good comic. You always
Thanks,
get a lot of
man.
laughs, dude.
Yeah, I'm basically scared of complimenting myself.
I'm not.
Well, thank you, and I get it.
No, I'm talking about myself.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I got
I'm
that
fucking
too.
great.
You are.
No, I'm not great.
You're great to me.
Yeah, but
I'm not just saying that. I'm not just blowing your load all over me, dude.
So you've been doing comedy like 6 years.
6 years, just hit 6 years. Got a long way to go.
Who doesn't, man?
Right. I feel like people don't say it enough, though. I feel like people can be too arrogant sometimes. Like, I get scared just with the feeling that I could be braggadocious about something. By the way, I ain't shit. I'm not trying to make it like I'm a goody two shoes, definitely, but I'm not like pure. Like dude, most of our conversations, Earl, are about tits.
And wrestling and
Yeah.
roast battle. And,
Yeah.
And that about covers it. This might be a real short podcast.
By the way, I loved when you called me what was a Polak? I was yelling. I was like about you said something anti-Semitic for your character in roast battle, and you're like, you fucking Polak.
Yeah. Well, if anyone, and there's a lot of fans of the show who've been to roast battle.
So much fun.
You've seen Josh jumping up and down like a maniac.
Yep.
And
that's my
and
job.
Then, we do the roast battle and stuff. And you had a good time in New York, right?
Oh, dude, it's so much fun. Me and my dad made a vacation out of it. It was great. Ate so much food. Really should do a push-up and some sit-ups, too.
It's all right. You got a good build. You're a big guy.
Yeah, I've started dieting again, and I'm doing all right. Like, I'm trying not to overeat. I've been doing better in terms of not eating in the middle of the night and like sort of doing like appropriate meals and exercising. I'm doing yoga once a week.
Where do you do that at?
I got this. My friend Cherie, you've probably met before, the one with the tits.
Well, I'm sure she likes to be known just as Cherie, not the one with the tits, but she does have them.
No, I know.
She was a guest on Inappropriate Earl.
Sweet. She's wonderful.
Under an assumed name. But.
Yeah, my bad. No, I love Cherie, and she's a professional. She's basically doing it for free. I'm trying to like I would anyone to pay her back in any little way at least. Yeah, she's super cool, and she's going out of her way for me, and I really appreciate that. I try my best in general to be a grateful human being, because I see a lot of people being ingrates and do unto others. You see something you don't like, you try to be the opposite.
Yeah, you're like the nicest dude in the world. So
yeah, and people like yourself, I appreciate that you believe in me, because that's all I got really. Like Moses puts me up because he believes in me.
Oh yeah, how did you come about getting that? Because I remember. I think I came aboard Roast Battle maybe a month after they had started it. I don't really remember you on the ones I was on in the early days. How did you get that role on Roast Battle?
Well, this was back when it was basically first starting, and Moses is one of the first friends I made at the Comedy Store. He's always been very...
Brian Moses, for those of you not knowing who we're talking about.
Brian Moses, good comedian.
Great guy, good comic.
Very good person. And... he's one of the first friends I met at the Comedy Store, and basically there's always an open mic before the Roast Battle, so I'd come up to do it, and he liked the cut of my jib, and as a friend and a comic, he believed in me. So he figured out a role for me on Roast Battle with the chantings and everything, and he also, as a comedian, he's like, yeah, I'll give you 3 minutes basically every week. And that turned into 5 minutes for the most part since we've been upgraded, and it's awesome, and I'm glad I'm unlike a lot of people. I get at least once a week to perform in front of normal people, because for most people don't know, as a comedian, you're mostly performing in front of other comedians when you're practicing.
That's
open
the fucking
mics.
Worst.
I just did Rock Paper Coffee before. This is a place on Sunset.
Open mic on Sunset.
And it just, like Marty's, it rips your soul apart.
Who is the host tonight?
Brian Moreno.
Okay.
He's a good guy. He's
just a nice guy.
The worst thing he used to do, he doesn't do it anymore. He figured a way to still do it, but not do it that would take people's time. He would do, as soon as the time started to do the open mic, he would do 20 minutes at the top.
Well, that's cool.
Which is, yeah, I mean, he's the host and everything, but it's a little aggravating. What if you have another open mic you want to go to, or what if he did 20 minutes at the top, and I'm trying to get to you, and I'm number one on the list. And I'm like, fuck, what if I don't get to you on time? But listen, he figured out a way to do it a half hour before the open mic starts, so it worked out.
Well, who the hell would want to do 20 minutes at a goddamn open mic? I mean, these people in this town are outrageous.
Fucking A. There are people that are complete psychopaths. And this, as a comedian, I know that's saying something, because we're fucking fucked up as is. But we're at least safe. There's some of these maniacs running around who have, and I'm just being objective with this, that really have no talent at it. That even if some of them are still doing it after more than 10 years, have no chance. And I mean, good for them being courageous enough to keep going at it despite having already failed.
Yeah, I've been there, man.
Yeah. If the community told me to stop doing stand up, I would stop doing it.
You shouldn't listen to anyone.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to keep at it because it's the only thing I've ever. This is allegedly the first thing I've ever been good at.
I'm sure you're good at other things. Jacking off.
Definitely good at that.
I'm
a master of masturbation.
How many times a week do you jack off?
I want to get, say, a good 5 a week average.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. What happens sometimes is I'll jerk off too much and sort of run out of seed. So you got to give yourself a couple days to sort of reload.
Wait till you get to my age.
Oh, dude. Blowing loads on tits never seemed harder.
Someone gave me this webcam girls site that's been hanging out at the Comedy Store, and I literally jacked off 6 times in a 15-hour period. Last time I came, dust came out. Hello.
I've just imagined the sound coming out of the dick.
Well, the first load it was, and the sixth load was a. My dog.
It's like an explosion of dust.
My dog woke up. She was like, "What the hell's going on?" So
Who turned on the vacuum?
yeah. I mean, it's,
You don't need like a wet nap. You need the vacuum.
well, sometimes when you got those big greasers come out, but
What's the name of that porn star with the big fucking like string loads?
I don't know. Peter North.
Yes, there you go. Perfect.
4 Court North. Peter North.
Dude. Oh, go ahead.
No. He used to. I don't know if he drank it, but he took silver, like the actual compound of silver. And they said like you shoot these big loads.
I've seen it. The best thing with him is he's always fucking big fake titty bitches, which is my kind of girl. So I know. Plus also I've watched enough porn that you start recognizing dudes, which is kind of sad, but whatever.
You're right. I actually know more guys' names than I do girls. Like
I'm about even keel.
I could name 20 guys' names right now. I could maybe name 3 girls.
I can name maybe 3. Okay, Peter North, Randy Stone, what and who? Oh, Evan Stone. Evan Stone. Thank you.
Randy West.
Yes, thank you.
There's a great documentary on Netflix called Life After Porn.
Right. I always wanted to watch it. They have
really good.
Mary Carey's in it and everything.
And Randy West is in it. And
here's the thing with Evan Stone. You watch him enough, you realize you can tell whose dick is who. Like you can't do that with most male porn stars. Like I can, if you showed me a picture of Evan Stone's dick and told me to guess, I'd know because it's peculiar looking.
I don't really watch a lot of porn in all seriousness.
Yeah, because you get chicks. I've been laid once to lose my virginity 2 years ago. I'm 30 now.
And it was a hooker, right?
Well, practically, it was a prostitute at a massage parlor.
Which massage parlor? Give this place a plug. Why not?
Momo's, I think it's called.
Oh, my Momo spot. I've been there.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Good happy hour.
Dude, happy hour, happy pleasure.
Well, most comics could do a Zaggett's guide on massage parlors.
You know that already exists. What is it? Something maps, hand maps, wet maps?
Yeah, I think...
moist maps?
Yeah, I know I don't know what...
there
is something out
It's
there.
a real apt. It's a real apt. It's apt. That's an app.
That's crazy that someone did an app for massage.
Well,
parlors.
it's P2P, meaning I know how that just sounds. Meaning it's mainly fueled. It's sort of like Yelp. It's mainly like put together by people who go to these places as well. Like people can put in and the places themselves can probably put in their own listing too.
But did someone take you to this place?
Yeah. Someone who cannot be named.
Why
I can't
not?
lie because this person would get super pissed.
Are they a comic?
I'm not even going to say.
You got to say that, dude. I got to.
All right, it's a comic. I can at least say
Okay.
that. But this person, I'm not going to tell you who this person is because I used to in the beginning. Here's the thing, and this is part of the autism, but it's not exactly. It's from it, but it's me in general. I basically do not lie. Like there's I've gotten to the point where I've gotten better at sort of like omitting, but that's not lying.
That.
What?
You'll get past that in the world of comedy.
I could not. I don't. I'm 6 years in, and I still. Oh, that's the thing I was talking about with Jesus Trio. Going backwards, about the negativity. They say a lot of people they come around less, especially the Comedy Store, because of all the negativity that's there, and I almost felt like that. And then Jesus Trio gave me a talking to. He's like, I asked 100 people if Joshua Meyrowitz was a good person. Let me say again. If I asked 100 people if Joshua Meyrowitz was a good person, 110 people would say it, and that I should keep coming around as much as I like to the Comedy Store because I'm a bright spot. And that I almost cried. That was really meant a lot to me. Red Band said something nice to me too.
What did he say?
Just like, don't let anyone scare you off. You're fine. We're all on your side.
Oh yeah, man.
I feel moist in my tear glands.
I bet you do.
Dude, that'd be awesome if I could shoot jizz out of my eyeballs.
Not on my couch.
Well, maybe. You never know. I'm a bit of an exploder.
So how was the experience? So you go to this Momo spa, which I think is on Santa Monica.
Yeah, definitely has to be along Santa Monica.
Yeah, there's like 3 on the corner of Santa Monica and La Cienega.
You would know.
I would actually. But so you go. This guy or girl says, "Hey, I want to take you to this place."
Yeah. And I had been very adamant about, because to me, just for me, not prostitute hookers, they're fine, but like I was at 28 years old, it was basically already late into my life that kind of feels pathetic that I have to lose my virginity to a prostitute for myself. That is, not anyone else. Everyone's fine. This is how I feel about me. And by the way, yes, I am having an argument with myself. Anyways.
This is great podcast, though. I don't have to say anything.
Exactly.
You're like the perfect podcast guest because I can ask you a question, and then I'm like right now I'm looking on your Twitter page, which let me give out your Twitter address right now. It's @AutisticThunder. And I want you guys and girls to look up Josh on...
Ask me questions. I'll answer everything.
Like YouTube. But here's how you spell his name. If you look him up on Google, it's obviously Joshua, Joshua. And his last name is Meyrowitz, Meyrowitz. There's also a scientist with that name.
Yeah, so. I found that out. I Wikipedia'd it because I was surprised. I'm not changing the name. Do people really know that much about him? I'm sure. Granted, he's obviously famous in this field, so why can't I be famous in mine? The same thing. He's not doing movies.
So just look up Joshua Meyrowitz comedy.
Yeah,
and a bunch of it's got a Flappers clip online, and
yeah, I'm all right. I gotta get a better. By the way, talking about this, I was talking about this. I think with Johnny LaQuasto, another comedian, good guy. About having the make a good video clip, otherwise it's hard to get booked at places.
Yes, it is.
It's isn't that horseshit that you have to like you can't just get by word of mouth anymore?
Yeah, but some people might be bullshitting and say my friend's funny. When
yeah,
they're
granted
awful,
that is true.
They're this girl's funny and she's just fucking the guy. So
yeah, that's true. I did not take that into consideration at the moment, but. At the same time, it's a struggle. I really need I'm only capable of 15 to 20 minutes at this point, and
that's about right for someone who's been doing it 6 years.
Yeah. I gotta talk to you about this. Well, we'll get back to the. Okay, so George Perez, another fellow comedian,
great comic,
great guy. He had me do this show at this bar in Orange County called Second Base. Dude, this place is like Hooters, except. They're not even dressed like sort of like playfully sexual. These women are in outright bikinis serving beer. It's great, dude. The tuchuses on these women, and some of the titties too.
And were they nice to you?
Yeah, they were. They were pretty lazy. That it's their in the kind of a situation where they have to be nice, but like I feel kind of creepy, not just gawking at them, which I do. But at the same time, like I'm trying not to be a creep and be a good person because that's who I am too. But I admit I gawk, and I get the feeling they're cool with it because they do that job every single day. And plus, it's not like I'm saying anything creepy or even thinking anything creepy. The most I talked to them was asking them for a water. That's it. Like and I got water and they were nice. So go to Second Base if you want to see some TNA and get some...
On Tuesdays for the George Perez's comedy
show.
Absolutely. Not George Lopez, George Perez.
Yes. Good guy. Very funny. He kills the show every time. He's excellent in general. And I'm going to do that like every 3 or 4 weeks now.
Well, how did you get to Roast Battle on time? I was amazed at that.
Oh, yeah. No, me too. Originally, a guy I was traveling with, Joe Marisi, another
great guy,
really good guy.
Saw him jogging on the boulevard today.
Yeah, he's a really good comic. He's an up and comer. He's got something to him, like I would think myself, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to force compliments at you, Earl.
No, you got a great look, man. I mean, we all, you can do 20 minutes. I mean, Jay Leno once told Rob Schneider, all you need is a good 20 minutes to be a star.
Exactly. So. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. So that's, you're already there.
Yeah. So George had me do a show, and he's like, I've never seen you cut loose like that before. I'm like, yeah, because I'm Jesus Christ.
It's all right, dude.
This is not unusual for me.
I'll edit the stutters out.
No, don't. People laugh.
Yeah, see, that's another good thing why I'm glad I had you on, because some of these celebrity guests I have on want me to, like, edit, like, the whole fucking podcast, and it's like, come on, man. Let's just let it roll.
Yeah, I have my dignity. It's all good. Plus, if I don't laugh at myself, I'm a shithead.
Right.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Well, is your comedy like scripted? Like when you go on stage, so I'm going to do this joke. I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, or do you
At this point, mostly yes. Like I have a hard time writing jokes. I have to get together with a bunch of guys like Brenton Biddlecombe, who's another good comic.
Second nicest guy in comedy, next to you.
I might be the second nicest guy, and he might be the first.
He might be, dude. He's so nice. It's almost like this guy can't be that nice.
This guy goes out of his. Well, I had a really bad bout of depression a couple months ago, and this guy came out.
Dude.
Yeah. Well, if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm good to talk to. I'm the guy, if you go on the road with, I'll keep talking, so I'll keep you awake. Someone told me that I haven't been on the road yet at all, and that's my goal right now, just to be good enough to not even make money with it. I just want to. This is why I brought up the George Press thing. He's told me, why don't you cut loose like that, like you for the most part. And I told him because I'm mainly only getting 3 to 5 minutes all the time. No one's giving me 8 to 15. And he's like, I'll find a spot for you somewhere and we'll go. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm not even holding him to it, but like, that'll be great. And I hope I'm not putting him on the spot by saying this on
You actually are, but that's all good. That's how you get things in this business.
Well, I'm not trying to do that to him.
Well, it's too late, but it's all good.
Right, it is too late, but as long as he knows I'm coming from a good place. He wouldn't be as friendly as he is with me if he didn't know. I'm talking about it because I'm honest. This is what I live. This is what I live and breathe. So
George is the best.
He really is, and he kept telling me, dude, you want me to get these girls to fuck you? I was like, can you?
He probably could.
He probably could, dude.
He's a real smooth talker.
He really is, dude. The ass it looks like he already gets from that job at that bar. Anyways, so I have people believe in me. Jesus might find something for me. Jason Rouse, like I have people who once again believe in me and even have some sort of pull in their life to maybe do something with me, which would be great because I fucking need the experience badly. You wouldn't even have to pay me. I'd love to go on the...
Don't say that. Whatever you do. That's what I used to say, and then you don't get fucking paid, and then you get asked, well, you don't drive, right?
I don't drive.
Why not?
Because...
Too much anxiety?
Oh, yes.
Do you think you will ever drive?
Depends on the circumstances, but probably not. But you know what? That's good. Gives me more time to leave my mouth flapping, so it'll keep you awake. I would love to go on the road with you. By the way, I'll accept the money. You know what I mean when I say you don't even have to pay me. It's just, I'll try not to say that in the future, but at the same time, like, that's how deadly I need experience right now.
Now, what got you into pro wrestling?
Since I was a kid, dude.
What was your favorite?
Just like video games. All-time favorite, Shawn Michaels, for sure. Shawn Michaels. This is a guy who, even though he's now retired, had great matches when in the 80s and 90s. Then had his back problem, had to retire for a little bit, and also like straightened out his life when it came to drugs. And I think this was one of the few guys where like becoming a born again Christian was a good thing for him.
I don't.
Listen, religion is never a good thing. Anyways.
But him and Sting were never the same after they found God.
Pretty much, but...
Sting the wrestler, not the bass player in the Police.
Correct. But with Shawn, it cleaned him up because he was known to be a major like drug whore or something like that. Anyways, have you ever heard the story about him and... what's her face? Tammy Sitch. What's her name?
They hooked up, right?
Well, it was. What's the name? What was her name when she was in the WWE?
Sonny.
Sonny. Thank you. Sonny and Chris Candido were what? Husband and wife, or just boyfriend?
Yeah, recently departed, or not recently.
Chris Candido died in the early
dead.
2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. They were husband and wife, but I think Shawn Michaels was boning her.
Yeah. What it was, and so was Bret Hart. They make a reference to it in a promo they did in the late. Sunny Days.
Shawn Michaels. For those of you not huge wrestling fans, Shawn Michaels was cutting a promo, and he
At Bret Hart.
and he said something like, "You'll see sunny days again." And Bret Hart was married at the time, or is married, whatever.
Yeah.
So a lot of cheating goes on in the world of pro wrestling, almost as bad as the Comedy Store.
Pretty much. Anyways, so Shawn Michaels, okay, so Chris Candido, I guess, I was trying to do a short version since I don't really know the story.
That's all good, dude. We got time.
Exactly. But, I'm just trying to figure the story. Okay, so Chris Candido gets blow. And I forget who he says, yeah, I'll give you some, what was it? I forget. Either way, the story ends up with Shawn Michaels both taking his blow and fucking Sonny, and Chris didn't know it until the end.
Well, that's cool. That's a classy guy.
Real classy. Anyway, Shawn Michaels got clean, thanks to God, whatever, and had even better matches than he did in what was probably his prime. His prime was when he was an older man. Like, that's crazy.
That's like me.
Yeah, dude. You took off the hair, and it's like, what? You're like a reverse Samson. You took off your long hair, and now you fucking wrecking puss.
I think I'm the same age as Shawn Michaels.
Dude.
I might be older.
You're looking good for your age. Talk about some Jew jeans.
But have you ever seen that? I was telling someone about it tonight. One of those WrestleManias where Hogan and Michaels were fighting.
And Shawn Michaels overselling it.
Yeah.
That's what made the match.
He was supposed to lose to Hogan. He didn't want to.
Right.
So I'm assuming Vince McMahon said, listen, you're going to lose. So
for those who know the current thing with CM Punk, the whole make Roman Reigns look strong, that it's if you're familiar with modern day contemporary wrestling, it's basically a guy Roman Reigns is right now a guy WWE is trying to put over strong, but the audience cares nothing for the guy. Basically, any good that he once had has been squandered, and people all they want is Daniel Bryan, which is awesome. And CM Punk, who recently is now in the WWE, he's in the UFC, and he left the WWE. He quit, got fired in a sense. Technically got fired, but basically quit of his own accord. And he said they would always be like, in this match, make Roman look strong. And It's insane. So basically a similar thing happened with Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan in the mid-2000s. And Shawn Michaels was like, fuck you, and proceeds anytime he gets hit by Hulk Hogan to just flip himself all over like he just got hit by Popeye.
If you can YouTube.
It actually enhances the match in a hilarious fashion.
It's a fun,
if you have WWE Network, look for it.
YouTube, it's got a really
Daily Motion
clip with pretty funny, circus type music to it, where Hogan barely touches him, and Michaels do 3 backflips,
like Ric Flair style bumping. It was insane. But so wait, anyways. So right now, WWE has been really shitty, to the point that their developmental stuff, NXT, is better than the actual on TV product. It's insane.
You have to watch NXT on the network, right?
You can watch it on there or Hulu Plus. If you have Hulu Plus, it's on there. So that right the day after. So lucky for anyone who doesn't have WWE Network, but has Hulu Plus, and you can probably find bootlegs somewhere on the internet. It's the internet.
Or you can ask a certain Comedy Store employee for their password.
Pretty much.
I've done.
Pretty cool about that. I don't have WWE Network. I love wrestling, but not enough to want a whole thing where I can go back and watch matches. Because I'm more interested in new matches, or newer matches. They're right now. I'm really hardcore. I've always been hardcore since the mid 2000s into indie wrestling.
Right.
We got to get you to this Pro Wrestling Guerrilla show one way or another. You're going to listen. If Tony Hinchcliffe, of all people, good comedian, great guy.
Great guy. Kill Tony. Very popular podcast on the Red Band Network.
Exactly.
Death Squad.
And he got to come there for half a show, and then he had to leave to do some stand up. But just the half he got to see, fucking, he's like, when are we doing this again? I usually go with my buddy Paul Air, who's a good guy and a good comic, and I go with Matt Edgar, another good guy, good comic, and very nice person. And we're lucky. Most of these guys we know are nice people who are also good comedians too. It kind of goes hand in hand, don't you think? for the most part.
Yeah, there's a good group of guys at the store. Probably about 10 or 15.
Yeah. Well, anyway, someone to hang out with if you can't find the other one. Anyways, indie wrestling, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla is awesome. That's like the number 2, if not number 1, indie company in the entire nation of the United States. It's so excellent. By the way, Earl Skagel just turned on Monday Night Raw.
We got Raw on my new television, and we've got the Big Show battling Daniel Bryan.
And listen, Daniel Bryan can pull a good match out of anyone, but the Big Show, it's not even the twilight of his career. He's got to stop.
Well, he's got to lose some weight, man.
What happens is every time this happens, he goes for a sabbatical, loses all the weight, comes back. Now he's on the road again. And, what else are you going to eat? I mean, this is the leanest he's looked in terms of, because usually he'd get really fat. This is the best he seems to be in terms of fatness, but being on the road. But yeah, he's become terrible, and just like a lot of things in WWE, he's being pushed on us like crazy, even though he's an old guy that doesn't need it. He's already had enough pushes. It's not like he's a totally bad wrestler. He's definitely a good promo, especially when he's funny. But Big Show needs to go. Or as because of the way it's pronounced in the song, sort of, people on the internet call him the Bog So. Yeah, it's the Bog So.
Yeah. He's. I really thought his peak was when Hulk Hogan pushed him off the building. And I really thought, oh, fuck, he just fell off a 40-story building, and then he came back 2 minutes later to, wrestle the NWO. And then he joined the NWO.
Yeah.
That's when the NWO started going down, when, guys, it should have been a 3-man operation.
The Outsiders and Hulk Hogan was the perfect.
Yeah, I mean, when you had guys like fucking Virgil coming in.
And then Wolfpack and LWO.
And then Stings and Red NWO.
Way
too many.
Kevin Nash is the leader. He's only a good promo. His wrestling. Greatest businessman in the history of wrestling, possibly. He's a terrible wrestler. He was maybe a little better in his youth, but especially in his Diesel years, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, he had a nice run. He's not a great wrestler, but most of the popular wrestlers of all time really weren't good wrestlers.
Yeah, especially Hulk Hogan, and that wasn't good for Hulk because he's turned out in latter years to be a complete douchebag, just a horrible person. I'll go on the record. It's not slander if it's true, or is it?
With what?
Hulk Hogan.
What are you going
on? Being a scumbag.
Right? Well, why do you say that? What are you?
Well, where do I start? Between making sure he always went over, when he got prime spots where he'd make a lot of money over guys who actually deserved it, or when his son caused the car crash to become for his friend and his friend. Why can't I talk like a fucking human being?
Jesus, dude, I'm gonna have this in subtitles.
Yeah, I really.
Let me ask you one question.
I'm like Jared Levin right now. Good Lord.
No, at least you could understand Jared.
Fuck you. Anyways.
What do you think of Daniel Bryan?
Daniel Bryan. What?
Yeah, Josh. Jesus, dude.
I didn't even start speaking. I maybe I'm too excited. Maybe I gotta go work one off, dude, in your bathroom.
Well, that's not gonna happen. But didn't you have sex with a fleshlight once at the Comedy Store?
Yeah, I tried to at least.
But you couldn't get it up?
No, I could get it up. I just couldn't get it out. That was one of those things I was talking before, where I masturbate too much, and it just either takes too long or just doesn't happen at all. It'll always be hard. So at least I got that going for me. That happened with the massage parlor prostitute, where I luckily got it out in the end. What?
Let's go back to that story.
Yeah,
so,
we're going all over the place. Yeah.
You go to Momo Spa. Your friend says, I'm going to pay for you. Yeah. Did your friend say, you're going to have sex with this girl? Or was this
Yeah, that's the whole plan. Not just like a blowjob, full. We're not talking about happy ending. We're talking about great ending.
So the girl meets you, the friend pays for you, and you
my friend gives.
You take it for you. I wasn't there, so you tell the story.
Right, my friend. Okay, so my friend drops me off, tells me all the details. He gives me $150, $50 for the front lady, this old Korean lady, to let you in, and they didn't let me in for 2 hours because I'm a clean cut white boy, so I look like police. I look like I'm undercover. And so they make me wait 2 hours in like the hot June sun, and then they let me in, and then they make me wait another hour just to be sure. And so this girl finally comes, and she's a fine ass Latina with fake titties. It was awesome, fucking. she gave me a massage, and I didn't even let that go like more than 2 minutes before I'm like, I'm ready. Let's do this thing. And she knew what I was talking about. She flipped me over, but before I wasn't hard at all because I was really nervous. But as soon as she flipped me over, my dick was hard as a fucking rock. I was ready to go. She smiled. She got a condom, put it on me, started sucking me off. It was great. I let that go for maybe 5 minutes before I was like, get on me, and fucking rode me like a cowgirl.
And
awesome.
How fast did you come? Be honest.
I did. Actually, that's what I was trying to say. I didn't come fast at all. It took me 20, 30 minutes because I masturbated so much. And
30 minutes? What are you, an accountant for Enron? You didn't fuck for 30 minutes.
I'm not lying. Once again, I don't embellish. I'll tell you when I'm embellishing something. I lasted somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes because I masturbated.
Well, that's a big stretch. So 15 to 30 minutes. It was either 15 minutes or 30 minutes.
No, somewhere between there. Listen, I lasted at least 15 minutes. Let's say that.
Okay.
But we're talking ballpark estimates.
I'll give you a ballpark.
God, I hope I'm being funny on this podcast. Anyway.
Well, it's a tough audience.
Yeah. Fuck. Anyways.
So you come and the girl says thank you? Come
she
again?
She has to jerk me off so hard to get cum out of me. She's ripping hairs out of my pubes. Also, I have a small dick. So like.
Well, how small is your dick? It did look pretty small when I saw it, but that's all right.
Yeah. I might be a grower, not a shower. I have no idea. I've never gotten it properly measured, but it seems like I'm a small dick person. So not in a bad way. I just small dick. That in itself is bad. Anyways, I'll never ever to properly pleasure a woman.
Yeah, but you can like go down on her and stuff.
Yeah, I can do things to make up for it. Plus, there isn't there girl. And listen, these women, they can all be cunts, dude. They could lie to you and say, "Hey, I don't mind small penises. They work for me."
Well, if you have enough money, they'll lie to you.
Pretty much. That's by the way, one of the reasons I can't wait to go on the road, getting chuckle fuckers. Get some puss.
Well, they sure are out there. You can get them at the Comedy Store too.
Yeah, I just got to figure out how to do that. Anyways, not living with my parents, granted. Anyways, so. Anyways, I got lube from the condom on my dick, so it's hard like to get a good grip because my dick is small.
Hold on, I gotta ask you. Are we talking about the fleshlight or the whore?
Oh, the whore.
Okay.
Like I couldn't get jizz out at all with the fleshlight. I'm so sorry. I'm all over the place. Okay. Anyways, she's jerking me off so hard, she's pulling out pubes like crazy. It didn't hurt because I was so into trying to fucking jizz. Like my adrenaline was up. She finally did, and I said thank you. She brought me a water bottle, and then I left.
She didn't give you a hot towel?
I was already hot, man. I'm a fat guy trying to fuck.
No, the hot towel's to clean off the jizz.
No, she had me jizz into a hot towel. She had me jizz into a towel.
But you were wearing a condom, right?
She took the condom off because it was too slip. But even with the condom off, the lube of the condom was making my small dick slippery, and you couldn't get a good.
Oh,
grip.
I gotcha.
I am so sorry. I'm not good with the details until we.
Well, you were there, bro. So I gotta add you know.
But there's so much. I usually go in a particular order, and it's not a bad thing. I'm just trying to figure this out with you. Okay. So she takes off the condoms, jerking me off so hard I have to jizz into. I do jizz. I asked her if I could come on her tits. She obviously said no.
Well, I'm sure for another $50 you could have.
Granted, I didn't have another 50. Also, I didn't tip her because I didn't know I was supposed to tip.
Well, yeah. You think this girl fucks guys just to get no tips?
No, I thought the $100 I gave her was. Listen, I'm not a dick. I just didn't know. I was talking about it with someone after the fact. I'm like, now I feel like a dickhead. Well, I'm not a dickhead. I just didn't know.
Yeah, it's all good.
I didn't have.
I mean, who cares? You shortchanged the whore. I mean,
she did. Hey, nobody took it out of me. I think she was like she figured I was a special. You know.
Yeah. I'm sure that didn't take long. Did you wear your Pantera shirt while you were boning?
I wore some sort of rock. I don't remember if it was a Metallica, AC/DC, or Anthrax shirt.
No, what got you into that kind of music?
I don't know. It's just what I grew up on. Like first couple years of my life, I was a little kid, so I listened to Michael Jackson. Like I didn't know better. I mean, Michael Jackson's good. Don't get me wrong, but then my brother started getting me into Misfits and Metal. I have a twin brother, fraternal. He has no disability. That's why he's good with women. Anyways, among other things, I have Asperger's and he's an asshole.
What do you mean? What's Asperger's?
That's the form of autism I have, high functioning autism. I thought I explained this.
Well, no, you said I thought you said you had Asperger's and you're autistic.
No, that's one and the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's called. They used to say it's on the autism spectrum, something like that. I honestly, there's so much details people give people, whether it's my parents or my doctor, give me over time that I'm just trying my best to articulate to the best of my ability. Obviously, not the best ability, but I'll live. I'm making it through, aren't I?
Oh, you're doing good, man. It's a wacky business we're in.
Yeah, God, I wish I wasn't this much of a stammering fuck. Like,
yeah, dude. I mean, this podcast is going to be broadcast to Japanese people because they're going to think they're listening to Japanese. Let me ask you one more question about pro wrestling.
I'm listening to you.
But you got to look at me for the hand signals.
Oh,
man.
Okay.
Let me ask you one more question about Roman Reigns. What do you think of Roman Reigns?
I love you. Anyways, Roman Reigns is call me what you will. Anyways, Roman Reigns is good. But he's one of these guys Vince gets hard on because he's got muscles but he's what they call somewhat green. Like he's still learning his craft. He's not like Daniel Bryan, who was in the Indies for more than a decade before they brought him in.
Really? Was he there that long, for 10 years?
Pretty much, or just about, if anything. Dude, he was like CM Punk back then, like the top guy in the indie. In the like Ring of Honor and like this is a guy who wrestled his ass off and still continues to. This guy wrestles his ass off so much that they make the WWE change their plans for any event just because they don't have Daniel Bryan going over, at least for sometimes. Anyways, Roman Reigns is good, and he was good when they had him not really speak that much and do his moves as part of Shield. And now they got him on his own, and they're trying to make him into another John Cena, which nobody wants. By the way, the thing with Cena is they tried to make another Rock, and Cena's not good with the insults. The way they book him is shit. The way they book Roman Reigns is shit, and he deserves better than that. The problem is the audience is sensible enough that they don't want shit forced on them, and they tried to force Roman Reigns on this when Daniel Bryan should be the guy, or Dean Ambrose, or Seth Rollins, or any other guy that's there, like Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler has been there WWE-wise longer than any of those guys, and he's had only a world heavyweight champion run, and it was short because of his concussions. The guy's never had like a top title, and they say on the internet it's because he sells so good, it makes the other guys look so much better. So he's a guy they'll never like put at the top. He's always going to be a mid-card title guy, which sucks shit if that's really how they go about it. Because this is a guy who made this past Survivor Series work so well. They couldn't have gotten that performance out of anyone else other than maybe Daniel Bryan, and it's a shame. And if they don't have Daniel Bryan be the guy to face Brock Lesnar, they're ruining a great story. Nobody wants Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Nobody even wants a triple threat with Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Brock Lesnar. We want Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar, a true Davy and Goliath.
Yeah, those two Jews from the Bible.
Am I saying? Oh God, I sound like such a retard.
That's all good. That's why I had you on the show.
Yeah,
man.
Great. Thank you. you're not. I mean, here's the thing with you. You're exploiting me, but I don't feel bad about it because
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do? Not have you on the show because you stutter and stammer? I gotta have you on the show. It
I
makes
know.
for great radio.
It feels better doing it with you than it would like someone like Don Barris. Not to talk shit. I'm just.
Well, yeah, we'll leave that for another podcast.
Yeah, that's something I'm very sad about. Anyways,
was that the friend you said you lost the other day on Facebook?
pretty much.
Okay, that's all. You guys, it ebbs and flows up there.
Yeah, but like he put it on himself. He put me in a situation. Here's the thing: when it comes down to it, I don't let people take advantage of me. I'm not anyone's fucking retard. It's one thing when we're having fun right now, and you're busting my chops. So it's not real exploitation. You're my friend, and you're busting my chops, and it gives me thicker skin. It's only when someone has a whole deal that makes like exploitation of people's disabilities. I don't feel exploited as a disabled person. I feel like I'm getting my chops busted as a fellow comedian.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean,
Yeah.
well,
I'm not going to get further into it. We'll save it for a different thing.
You and Don will be buddies. Yeah, at some
I
point.
hope so. Yeah, I hope I hope the air is cleared and
Yeah,
at least at least civility. I don't want him feeling awkward. I don't want to feel awkward. I'm someone who brings love. So when these situations happen, I get depressed, man.
Don't worry about it, man. We're all doing our thing.
Anyways, so yeah, Daniel Bryan should be the one to fight Roman Reigns. He's gonna do that. What is it? Is the 22nd?
Fastlane, I think.
What?
Fastlane. That's the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah. Seriously, it has to be Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. So I was talking to Steve Simone, another great guy, great comedian. That's the number one nicest guy, maybe.
Yeah, you, him, and Biddlecombe. It's a three-way tie, man.
Oh, you're too nice. Much love. Anyways, Steve said to me, he texted me, if it's Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar, he's taking me to WrestleMania.
Well, I might be going to WrestleMania with Hinchcliffe so we could watch Sting.
Yeah, Sting versus Triple H or Sting versus Taker, whichever one they're doing, it could be fun. But like they've already fucked up a little. First of all, Sting is completely out of shape. Like the point to the fact that they're obviously trying to cover it up is when they had like a Sting come out last week. It was a guy in a fake wig. Like that totally was not his body type at all, and it was pretty funny that they're trying to pull.
Yeah, but like
that's on Sting.
That was one of the best Sting moments ever when the NWO was in the ring and they had like 30 Stings.
Yes, I watched that the other day, and Buff Bagwell punches one of the Stings in the face, and he doesn't react, and the crowd just lights up.
And there's another one I just saw it for the first time. I put it on Matt Edgar's wall where NWO is in the ring. Yeah, a fake Sting drops from the rafters, and it's clearly a dummy, and it crashes through the ring, and you can see the rope moving, and they're clearly putting the real Sting, in the harness, and
just like the moment we were talking about before this one, I love the Sting moments where he's wearing a mask over his makeup, and he takes it off, and it's like completely.
Well, that's what he did. Like, so Hulk Hogan and I think Mr. Perfect put him over the ropes. And then Hulk Hogan's like, I'm going to wipe the smile off his face. And he touches him, and then the real Sting takes his mask off. And he couldn't get out of the harness.
Oh, that's right.
So it's the best because you can see every wrestler in the ring. Scott Hall, Mr. Perfect, Bagwell, I think Six Pac.
Right.
They all had to improv and go to him.
Yeah.
He couldn't like get that final hook off. And
good old days of botches, huh?
Yeah. It was a real funny botch.
Speaking of which, have you ever watched the Botchamania videos on YouTube?
There's too many of them.
Yeah,
hundreds of them.
The first 100 are actually the best ones, and then the ones on are good, but they like. I think it's best if you get like certain references, especially he goes with video game references a lot, but which is fine. It's nerdery as is. So, yeah, but. Watch at least the first 100. They're really funny, or at least the first 200, if anything. Trust me, time go by. Especially the first ones aren't that long, and it's just fun to see all the fuck ups over the years. Like it's sad that they won't. He won't. Maybe I'm sick in this way, but I like seeing the ones where the dude breaks his leg. Have you ever seen the Sid?
Oh, I can't watch it.
You know what? I thought I couldn't. I can't watch it if I'm seeing the actual leg break, but if it's under like a boot or like some or like a jeans, the sleeve of the jean, it doesn't bother me. But if I saw like the bone through the skin, I won't have it. But Sid jumping from even the second rope and his leg snaps. Oh, so gnarly.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think,
I think I'm desensitized, honestly.
He'd never. Well, because you watch that Japanese stuff, right?
I watch a lot of Japanese animation, and it kind of.
No, I mean the Japanese wrestling where they're like really violent.
Dude, we're not even talking in that regard. We're not even talking Japanese wrestling. First of all, that's what I was talking about before. Indie wrestling, I've been hardcore in recent years into Japanese pro wrestling. Japanese pro wrestling right now is like quickly following up WWE's like trail. Like if I'm using that phrase completely wrong. I'm not saying it right. I mean,
it's all right. My audience doesn't really care about grammar.
Yeah, they just want to make fun of me. It's all good. Much love.
Anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of you.
I know. I'm playing with you. You're my friend and I love you. It's all good. Anyways, so recently, me, Ron Funches, Matt Edgar, and my other buddy I mentioned before, Paul Lair, we got together. They had Jim Ross and Matt Stryker commentate live in Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling's WrestleMania type event called Wrestle Kingdom. And it was awesome. Now, normally, you don't even need Jim Ross and Matt Stryker. The Japanese commentators, first of all, most moves are in English anyways, and they're so excitable that even if you don't understand what they're saying, it's so endearing. So it's like, dude, whenever there's a lariat, it's like a goal in soccer in Spanish. They're like, Lariato! Lariato!
Right.
And it's so much fun. But Jim Ross and Matt Stryker added to it. Seeing Jim Ross call anything really brings the sportiness to it. But here's the problem in a sense. It's not an actual problem, but there's a phrase on the internet that I like. In Canada, it's tradition. In Mexico, it's religion. In Japan, it's sport. In America, it's a joke.
Right.
Pro wrestling. And so in Japan, it's already got this tremendous sports atmosphere. So Jim Ross certainly adds to it, but even without him, like it feels like a real like sports event, like as if it weren't like stories. Plus, there's really not too many stories other than I'm stronger than you. I'm gonna fight you. I think I'm stronger than you, even though you're really strong. Let's fight to prove who's stronger. Or I want that title. Let's fight for it. Like there's not like the only guys doing sneaky shit are very few, and they're usually comedy wrestlers. Or right now in Japan, they have a popular all foreigner, meaning all white dude, white and black.
Well, that's
dude.
good to know.
It's called something black people. Anyways, called the Bullet Club. It's a pretty popular group. They're basically a pastiche. They're basically a homage to the NWO, to the point that they actually do the Too Sweet thing as well.
Okay.
You would love them. The Young Bucks are in them. Jeff Jarrett they're getting to the point where they're finally starting to bloat like the NWO and start to be like, all right, that's enough maybe. So to the point Jeff Jarrett's now part of the group.
Oh, he's the worst.
Pretty much. Does funny shit though. But hey, and we wouldn't have gotten that Wrestle Kingdom special on American pay-per-views without him. So at least he's a good businessman in a sense, but horrible booker. Horrible booker.
Is he the booker?
Not of New Japan, but like TNA. I mean, that was badly booked whether it was him or not anyways. But he would book himself to be the champion like most of the time. So it was very annoying.
Now, what about the rumors of a Goldberg comeback?
That's up to Goldberg. I think Goldberg's done, man. I can sort of understand it looking at Brock Lesnar since that was the match, his very last match. And that'd be great almost in a weird way if he came back and had a match with Brock Lesnar and fucking actually tore the place up.
But I think Lesnar's going back to UFC.
Oh yeah, after WrestleMania, he's losing that title. There's no way he's not losing that title by. Some people say he's going to lose the title at Fastlane and leave. I don't know, man.
I think they'll hold on to him for WrestleMania.
Dude, they'll give him mucho money for fucking WrestleMania.
That's going to be a good WrestleMania. You got Lesnar and Daniel Bryan. You got Sting, Triple H.
Can I say it's good on paper?
Cena and who's Cena fighting?
Who knows? And then Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker, possibly, if we're not getting Sting versus Taker.
Yeah, they need. You can't have Sting versus Taker. You can't put in two guys.
Save that for another year. If
Taker next year's in Texas.
Oh,
I think
that's where
that's where they
Taker's
should do
home.
it. I think what they should do is
That's a good place to do That really is the best place you could do Sting versus Taker. Actually,
you have Sting versus Taker. You have them, a couple minutes, and then you have like a run-in where
no run-ins. Come on,
you got to. You can't have two
It's
guys.
one thing when Ric Flair had Arn Anderson come in and do a spine buster. That was awesome, but that was very quick. People are so sick of sort of almost the American way of pro wrestling because, like I said before, it's become a joke. Like,
yeah, but dude, you can't have two guys in their fucking late 50s, 60s wrestle by themselves. You got to throw.
Say that to Shawn Michaels and Undertaker 5 years ago, 6 years.
Well, they weren't. Undertaker's
they
close
were
to 60 now. Sting
oh
is
yeah,
55.
he looks like he's.
You can't have. You
his
gotta have.
knees are made out of glue. They're made out of putty.
But you gotta have Rollins or Bray Wyatt or someone Ziggler
Right.
even to
Triple
take
H
the bumps.
interrupt the match. Listen,
You can't have Triple H. He can barely move. You gotta
Actually,
have a
Triple
young
H
guy.
is
in there.
listen, Triple H is doing pretty good for his age. Him fighting Daniel Bryan this past year was excellent.
But you gotta have because Bryan can carry the match. You gotta have.
Yeah, granted, that's true. Yes,
You gotta have.
Daniel Bryan can get a good match out of basically anyone.
Undertaker can't move. Sting can barely move. You gotta throw in a Ziggler, a
I
Wyatt.
gotcha. You maybe Bray Wyatt. Maybe it's a triple threat. Bray Wyatt's the upstart.
Yeah, and you just have him. Maybe you have.
Make it, but don't make it a run. And maybe
you gotta
make it
do
someone
it.
already.
You gotta have something in the mix. And
I basically agree. But there's one thing when you got the Arn Anderson thing I referenced, or Shawn Michaels as the referee to Triple H and Undertaker, where it's a spectacle and it works really well.
Now, what are your thoughts? I think it's very hypocritical, but the WWE doing tributes to Black History Month when you literally can't find a company that's been more disrespectful to black people than the WWE. I mean,
more or less, yeah.
If you think
no, TNA's been pretty bad though.
Yeah, but TNA
and
nobody watches.
latter years WCW pretty.
WCW was calm, but you look back at some of the characters on WWE.
Oh yeah,
back when it was WWF, you had Junkyard Dog, who was a black dude who came to the ring in a dog collar and got on all fours and barked like a savage pit bull.
Dude, any black gimmick was a racist gimmick. Whether there was Papa Shango, Kamala, Nation of Domination.
But Kamala, for those because I don't know if a lot of the younger fans know who these guys were. Kamala was a huge black dude from
big fat black dude,
like Uganda. Who
just recently lost his foot.
He lost both legs. Man.
Oh, both legs.
Talk about a
diabetes,
guy
man.
Bitter, man. I want him on the podcast. Boy, I don't know how he'd get up here, but he was like some savage beast from Uganda. It turns out he's just from Philadelphia. Well, same difference, Uganda, Philadelphia, but Slick, the black pimp. Tony Atlas, who was a buffoon.
I can't tell if Ahmed Johnson was racist in itself. I don't know.
Mark Henry
was cool. Sexual Chocolate was funny.
Yeah, but did Sexual Chocolate when he was just some horny, morbidly strong black dude, fucking Mae Young, and then she gives birth to a hand.
Come on, the guy in the hand, that was funny.
That was funny. Oh my God!
Years later, that was a great moment.
And I think not Pat Patterson, but who's the guy? His partner is Briscoe throwing up in the delivery room.
When R-Truth did Pretty Racist when R-Truth did Pretty Ricky.
Was that a gay character?
No, but it was him basically doing a Chappelle-esque character, and then he did like on the street vignettes as Pretty Ricky, and it wasn't working, and it was pretty kind of.
Well, I know they also Orlando Jones. No, was it
Orlando?
What was the black guy's name? Orlando
the
Jones,
gay one?
Right? But that was his name, right?
Orlando Jones was
He did like some wacky gay goth character.
In TNA, I think you're referring to. They had like his very first episode. He had like fake cum blasted on him. Not even joking. There's pictures online, and he came out with his own twink. Like, here's the problem with Orlando Jones. Jones, actor Orlando Jones. Here's the problem with Orlando Jordan.
That's right. I knew it was
Orlando Jones is an actor from who used to be on Mad TV. Okay. Anyways, Orlando Jordan was a terrible wrestler, so having him do anything, that's yeah. By the way, I just want to clarify, I don't know shit. This is just stuff I've learned from the internet.
I had you on the show.
You're too kind.
What
Anyways.
do you think? This is Rogan's show where I have scientists on?
No, you have me. What I guess I could be called a smart mark or whatever.
Rogan's a big fan of yours. Doesn't he like laugh at your stuff at Roast Battle and stuff?
I've never seen him laugh at roast.
Well, I was
never
trying to
seen
set you up. I was
him.
hoping
Rogan's
you'd
laugh.
He's laughed at your stuff.
Fuck yeah. We're talking about the chant or me doing stand up.
Well, I don't know if he's ever seen you do stand up, but I mean, he seems to enjoy your.
Well, I'm glad he enjoys it. I wish I could impress with stand up, but I don't think I could ever do that in the first place. Not this being mean. I think his tastes are. I don't think I'm at a point in my stand up yet where I could impress
You
someone
will
like
be,
Jordan.
dude. Who cares, man? It's all the same.
No,
shit.
I have nothing but respect.
You have love, much
indeed,
love.
much love indeed. So, what were we talking about?
We're talking about
that reminds
Orlando
Jordan. Yes, he was a terrible wrestler, and that's not the first time wrestling has been bad with gay people.
You telling me Billy and Chuck's gay wedding wasn't painting homosexual unions in a good light?
It was two guys who weren't gay. In the same,
well,
similar
I don't know
thing.
about that.
But hey, listen, they're characters anyways. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that, especially since I'm not a gay guy, so I don't know the feeling of anxiety a gay guy would have towards things like that.
That to me though was the last great Swerve sketch. Like
we're not gay, we're pretending.
Hey, we're not gay. No offense, but if I was gay, I probably wouldn't marry Chuck. And then Eric Bischoff, YouTube Billy and Chuck's gay
I gotta
wedding.
look at it again. I only remember the vignettes.
Well, it was just that everyone was like playing their part so well. Like Rico.
Right.
Rico,
oh yeah, that's why that guy became a cop after he quit.
He was the gay wedding organizer.
Yeah, he was
fucking
Jackie Gata, who was a terrible wrestler. Great tits though.
Well, that's all that matters. No offense to the women wrestlers.
Oh no, we mean nothing but respect. We just love tits.
They're great athletes. But
absolutely, trust me. That brings me back to the Indies and NXT, the developmental spot for WWE. Women wrestlers are insanely good.
Now, do they NXT? I don't watch it.
You need to.
But I mean, is it 1 2-hour show on Monday nights?
No. What it is? It's an hour show on Wednesday nights on WWE Network, and then it gets put the next day on Hulu Plus. And then when they have a special, it's 2 hours. But it's done like
they don't have pay-per-views. They have specials.
They have specials on the
And you have to watch it on.
I would watch a pay-per-view. Listen, if they put the same program they've been putting on for the last year or so, they've been doing an extremely good job. It's almost like Triple H. If he's telling the truth, I would go see them on tour and.
Yeah.
It's like he's booking it for the style that it's like halfway between the WWE style and the indie style. And Triple H in that interview he did with Steve Austin said he's doing that on purpose because he wants something different, at least when it comes to that. I hope whenever Vince fucking gets a coronary I don't wish death on anyone, but
you'll get past that.
Yeah.
Do comedy another few years.
Yeah.
Do WWE stars come in and do run-ins and shit?
The ones who are failing, kind of failing for the most part, like Emma or Curtis Axel, or Cesaro, the one. By the way, Cesaro was already he was never underrated. He was like Daniel Bryan. He was an indie darling, and he's extremely underrated in the WWE. They gave him the brass ring, and then they snatched it out of his hands. He's a guy that should be at the top right now, and they fucked him. They fucked him so hard, and it pisses me off.
Well, I'm sure he enjoyed it. Oh, I thought you meant they literally.
I mean, as long as he's still making money, I'm happy for him. But at the same time, he's a guy who deserves top billed stuff. He's an excellent wrestler.
Now, what do you think of the guy I roasted on Roast Battle? The great
John Morrison, great.
Lucha, what's he in? Lucha?
Yeah, Lucha Underground. He's on there as Johnny Mundo. I know, right? He can't be Morrison. Why couldn't he have gone with his last name of Hennigan? That's a perfectly fine last name.
Now you had a big part in that roast.
Yeah, I got to be I bought a referee shirt off of Amazon, and I got to be the referee. If they ever have me again, I still have the shirt. They're probably not.
Well, who knows? I mean,
I'd love to have an extended job where I get to make hand signals and other cool stuff, but pre-planned, obviously, because I'm not a good improviser for the most part, or at all.
That's all good. No one is really.
Yeah. So anyways, Ziggler's cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I say. Stop flashing the light at me unless you.
I'm not flashing the light at you, dude. I'm looking at how
Oh,
we're
okay.
doing on time.
I feel bad. I'm sorry.
That's flashing the light at you.
Blah. Anyways. Oh, what were we talking about? Okay.
Ziggler.
Oh, going back to the fleshlight,
Johnny
actually
Mundo.
bringing up Ziggler. Okay, so remember when back in the Comedy Store, Dave Taylor, who's a paid regular there, and Jason Tebow, who's very good comedian, nice guy, hangs out, and they used to have a thing in the middle of the night just for us comedians on like a Wednesday, just fucking around, talking about stories that are happening around the Comedy Store. And it was the same night as Sam Tripoli doing his Naughty show. And on that show, they had a contest where they were giving away a fleshlight. Now, didn't need a fleshlight. I knew I wasn't going to like one because old Righty has been doing me well all these years. But I thought it'd be funny because they want to win this fleshlight, you'd have to get slapped by a porn chick. And I thought that'd be funny if I went up because usually people don't want to see me get hurt because they're good friends and they care about me. So when they saw me get up, they're like, no. And I'm like, no, it's okay, guys. And I got slapped fucking hard, and more than once. And it was funny. I won the fleshlight. And then when I went up to the show that Tebow and Dave Taylor were running, they're like, hey, you want to try the fleshlight out? I'm like, okay. So I went into Tommy's personal bathroom and tried.
Who's Tommy? I don't know who that is.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways.
It's what most people say.
I went into one of the guys that run the Comedy Store's private bathrooms and tried it out. I couldn't jizz. What happens is I masturbate too much and I run out of seed practically. And so I think also there was pressure on me and I just couldn't. I could keep it hard, but I couldn't get jizz out. But Ziggler was there, not watching. But Ziggler is there. He's like, you have fun with your toy? And I'm like, you're damn right.
That's great.
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. Come on.
All right. Well, we are at. I think that's a good way to. We are at an hour and 20 minutes, dude.
Oh fuck yeah, we had fun.
Well, see, what my goal with guests like you is to have people listen to this and then go, I want that guy to come back. So we can't.
I hope I did a good job.
Oh, you did great, dude. We're not quite done yet. We got like another minute or two, but my goal is for people to go to your Twitter page at Joshua Meyer. At Autistic Thunder.
Yeah,
at Autistic Thunder, all one word. And then
you can ask me questions.
Yeah, ask him questions. Trust me, he'll answer them. You also, this is where we plug everything you're doing. You also have some really funny movie reviews on your Facebook.
Yeah, they come from my Instagram account. So the Autistic Thunder name comes from a bit I do. What if I was an autistic superhero? And I enjoy watching Conan O'Brien's video game reviews where he just gives an incredibly arbitrary point system that constantly changes and never makes sense. And a lot of people around the Comedy Store in particular are like, dude, why don't you do movie reviews online? Just go on YouTube or whatnot. And I would. And so I give him a number out of 5 autistic thunderbolts.
Right, it's like your thumbs up, like Siskel and Ebert.
For instance, Kingsman. Recently saw it. It's a fun movie, and I would have given it 4 out of 5 autistic thunderbolts, but I'm giving it 3 because I've already seen The Raid 2, and The Raid 2 can desensitize you to movies that are like it but not as good as.
Right.
Raid 2 is an Indonesian martial arts flick that's fucking awesome. The Raid and The Raid 2 are must see cinema, and the second one in particular is super gory and the action is excellent. And you go and see Kingsman and it's a very fun movie, but if I had not seen The Raid, I would have given it a better review. But I have seen The Raid 2, and so all the cool fun violence and martial arts that were in Kingsman just wasn't enough. Still a solid 3 out of 5. I don't do in between numbers like in a half or a quarter because I like to keep it simple because I am a simple man in my head.
Now, and we'll end on this just since we've talked about pro wrestling a lot. And,
yes. Oh, trust me, I could go deeper down.
Well, I am sure you can.
Have me back. I hope
find
so.
This
is my second time on the show.
I know, dude. But you did
thank you.
One with Matt Edgar and I think Sandy.
Yeah.
But I find
Gabe. Gabriel, what's his face? You know,
Gabe Killian.
Gabe Killian. Was that, or it was the week after, and that's where like you're glad I answer and I'm loud because he won't.
Yeah, Gabe doesn't talk. Gabe's like the worst guest in the world because he holds the mic. A great guy, great comic, horrible MMA gambler. And he's the worst podcast guest in the world, not because he's not interesting. He's very interesting. But he believes in holding the mic down by his ankle and speaking away from it. So
and he already speaks very low as is. He has a very low
it's not
register.
Good acoustics.
Yeah.
So
love you, Gabe. Anyways.
Love you, Gabe. What did you think of the movie The Wrestler, since you're such a big pro wrestling
Definitely
guy?
4 out of 5 autistic thunderbolts. When I saw it, I might have given it a 5 because of excitement, but I try to give myself just a little more time before I decide. I almost should have given I gave Jupiter, just as a side note, I should have given Jupiter Ascending a 2 out of 5. Now that I think of it, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I liked what it had. It had promise, but it kind of failed on a lot of it. So maybe I'm now down to a 2 out of 5 on that. But my point is, The Wrestler, I have to give myself a little time to think about it. Again, 4 out of 5. It's a really good movie. It basically resurrected Rourke's career, and rightly so. It should have, and it fucking Marissa Tomei's hot as shit. That's the only thing in the movie I didn't buy, that guys weren't getting lap dances from her. She was so fucking hot.
And a lot of rat songs in The Wrestler.
Oh yeah. This is your kind of movie. Hot tits with wrestling and fucking Motley Crue.
Now, this is the last thing we'll end on. As a Jew, how many Thunderbolts would you give Schindler's List?
Never saw it. I don't want to. It's too depressing. It's the same reason I don't want to see American Sniper. Usually when it's about really sad, real life things, I tend not to watch it. If someone said to me, "You have to review this movie," I'd do it. But I don't want to. It's too depressing. I like everybody involved: Spielberg, Liam Neeson, Ralph Fiennes. But in the end, I'm never gonna watch it because it's the. You know what happened when I was little? When I had to go to synagogue a lot for my bar mitzvah stuff. And by the way, as soon as I got bar mitzvah, I fucking ran away like hell. I don't disrespect religion. It's just not for me. I want to live my. I'm not even anti-religion. I don't care. Just trying to live my own life, put my feet in front of each other, and walk away. Anyways,
aren't we all, brother?
Exactly.
Well, we'll get into that religious shit on the next. You'll be back for more, as Rat would say. And do you have anything else you want to plug? Like any shows coming up?
Just Roast Battle every Tuesday night at 10:30 at the Comedy Store. It's a free show, but you can pay for seats ahead of time.
You reserve seats.
There are reserved seats if you want to, but
standing room only.
Otherwise, yeah, you'll be in the back with all the comedians.
Trust me, it's the best $5 you'll spend
Seriously.
to get a reserved seat because it's
insanity. It's a fucking carnival, man. It's between the all N-word wave, the house. I like it when they called you guys a house racist because house hater doesn't work. It doesn't
it
even
does
come up
actually, dude, because the heat was too.
I got you. You got too much heat for the house racists.
Too much heat, and
I gotcha. But you and Whitney as the house haters. By the way, congratulations to Whitney on her recent success.
No, Whitney's blowing up. I could.
Larry King's Aura Station.
Yeah. No, she's her tiny. Whitney Lee Rice has the tiny talk show. Is very funny, and she's a frequent Inappropriate Earl guest.
And
so,
how?
Look for her on Twitter, Whitney Lee Rice. Very funny lady and real
Very
up and
nice
comer.
lady.
Very nice. So that's about it. Just Twitter for you.
Roast Battle, and every couple of weeks I'll do a Second Base, which is at 10 o'clock.
On Tuesday nights in Orange County.
Tuesday nights, Orange County. And I probably have other things. Oh, I'm doing another podcast. That's one that other comedians don't want me to do because they don't want me being mean to. It's this guy, Jay Cooper's a good guy, but he runs this podcast called What I Hate About You. And it's basically a podcast about, like, he'll ask other comedians what they hate about, like, in this case, me. And then he'll tell me. The whole point is to be mean to the guest, which is fine. I ultimately wouldn't have done it, but I committed to it. It's kind of like, yeah. But it's going to be fun. I'm going to have fun with it. It's going to give me thicker skin just like this has. And I should be grateful that anyone's interested in being in any right. So Fuck yeah. So we're recording that this Wednesday. I think it's actually a live podcast, so look that up. Jay Cooper, not everything, What I Hate About You. There we go. And that's about it. Other than that,
that's enough. That's a lot.
Yeah, I do a set and get Chance on during the roast battle. That's my deal there.
It's a big show. It's the #1 show in LA right now by far, and
Absolutely.
you're a big part of it.
Thank you. I'm glad to be part of it.
Yeah, we're all glad. We're all happy to be involved in it. So that's Tuesday night at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room, 10:30 and beyond.
Yeah, I hope I didn't sound holier than thou about anything.
It's too late for that. But
Fuck you.
I don't edit anything.
Oh no, I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying I'm scared I came off that way.
That's all right.
Who cares in the end?
Who
right?
cares in the end? They just want to hear me, and you
bust chops, yeah,
bust chops and talk about phony wrestling and
fun times, dude.
Yeah, we'll get you back on. We'll talk about we'll get you on
more wrestling, more masturbation, more anything. I'm game for it all.
That's every comic's life. So
fuck yeah.
Check out Joshua Meyrowitz, Autistic Thunder on Twitter, and Joshua Meyrowitz on Facebook. And YouTube, look at
Instagram.
But on YouTube, make sure you put in Joshua Meyrowitz comedy.
Otherwise you're getting a lecture.
Yeah, from some Jew in Germany or something.
From New York, he's well read.
Yep. So
thank you for having me on. It was my pleasure, and I hope to do it again even sooner.
Oh, you will, dude. We'll get you on again real soon. And for those of you who care to do so, listen to us on iTunes. Inappropriate Earl, and if you don't do the iTunes thing, some people don't.
Do you put it on the same night?
I put it on. This will be out tomorrow morning.
Fuck yeah!
Listen to it on SoundCloud, which is a free site. It's also free on iTunes. So leave a review and please retweet the link I send out. It helps with the numbers. And future guests coming on from the world of 80s metal and 80s actors.
Any chicks I can fuck?
No. No prostitutes are lined up, so you're gonna
only
have to,
prostitutes. I want a girlfriend. We'll talk about that another time.
You'll figure it out. We'll talk about your girlfriends on the next podcast.
No girlfriends.
So, guys, this is Inappropriate Earl. Thanks for listening and all the support. It's a work in progress, and couldn't do it without you guys listening.
Love you, Earl.
Love you, dude, and I do it for the fans. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing it because
pure fun.
I want to, get my comedy and my friends, funny friends comedy out to the masses. So support Joshua Meyrowitz.
Support Earl Skakel.
Support Earl Skakel, and we will be back real soon on Inappropriate Earl.
Much love.